Hi everyone, my name is Amy and it's very nice to meet you all. I really wished that we could do this presentation in person, but it looks like we're going to have to do it via camera for now. So today's topic of discussion revolves around Heidi Roizen, a Silicon Valley executive, venture capitalist, and entrepreneur. I always considered myself to be a decent networker, but learning more about Heidi Roizen left me to reconsider what it means to be a networker and how to go about building my network. I've learned that it's not about building a network to help myself in the future, but also about helping others to build theirs and paying it forwards. Although I thought that my network was strong, in comparison to Roizen's network, it's paltry. So what's so different? What does Roizen do differently that yields such a different type of network? Let's start by reviewing her career. After graduating from Stanford 2 quarters early, she applied for her editor position at Tandem Computer. Roizen had a friend that knew a woman that worked in the hiring department, and so she seized that opportunity to call and ask for the position. At this point of the article, I began to wonder, could Heidi Roizen be a taker? In Adam Grant's book Give and Take, he talks in depth about the differences between takers, matchers, and givers within the workplace. Although it may seem like dominant takers have the most success, multiple studies show that the otherish givers are the ones that show levels of success similar to that of Roizen. If Roizen was truly a taker, how did she reach such levels of success? As we continue to read on, though, we are shown that Roizen is not a taker, but a successful otherish giver. I believe it is because of her otherish giving character that she was able to find success in all points of her career. In Adam Grant's How to Be Productively Generous article, he states 3 ways to be productively generous, and Heidi Roizen effortlessly attains these 3 points. First, she doesn't confuse giving with being nice. Now that's tough to do. While Roizen is generally known for being a genuine, sincere, down-to-earth person, she knows how to set boundaries and not become a doormat or a selfless giver. Instead, as a productive giver, she focuses on acting in the best interests of others and offering her tough love. When she worked as a venture capitalist, she only connected 2 parties together if she saw that there was a clear benefit to both parties. If there was no clear benefit, she was able to respectfully decline. For example, when people asked to be connected to Jeff, who was a top executive at Microsoft, she declined if she didn't think that there would be a benefit to Jeff or the person asking to be connected. In this manner, she also practiced reciprocity, treating others as she would want to be treated. Knowing that people are very busy, including herself because she was very busy, she knew not to bother people unless there was a true chance that sparks would fly. The second way that Adam Grant says to be a productive giver is move away from the idea that it's all about altruism. Giving doesn't only count when it's a selfless act. If this were true, every giver would eventually burn out and become exhausted from nonstop giving. Unlike the TFA, Teach for America, teacher Conry Callahan that we meet in Grant's Give or Take, Roizen knew when to rest and revamp so she didn't burn out. While working for Apple, Roizen realized that she was starting to burn out because of the relentless pace of Apple, and so in 1997, she decided to leave the company. While one might think that she should have pushed through and gave it even more, her decision to move was what allowed her more success. She was able to stop her burnout and offer her services in a different manner by transitioning into the role of a venture capitalist. Here, she was able to give more by connecting other people and other startups. She was also able to build her network even more through this, which only led to strengthening her career. Thirdly, she knew that it wasn't about refusing help from others. While selfless givers may be afraid to ask for help and be a burden to others, Roizen knew that it was okay to lean on others for support occasionally. In 1996, when Apple was struggling with a decrease in its market shares, Roizen was able to reach out to many of her contacts and ask them to stand by Apple. With these 3 examples, we learned that Roizen is truly an otherish giver according to Grant's definition, and that is why she has such a strong network of people that she can rely on. Roizen also displays a strong network because hers is one in which several clusters are connected, rather than having one giant cluster. Let's refer to Uzi and Dunlap's How to Build Your Network. They show us that rather than having one big cluster where it's likely that each person has a similar mindset and job description, it's better to have several little clusters of networks that are interconnected. Now, in the case, we learned that Roizen is the nucleus of her network and is connected to other nuclei of other networks. Because she has such a large range of contacts in different networks, she has a farther reach and ultimately, it lends her more strength. Now, I know I've been talking a very long time, but I have just a few more points to illustrate why Roizen's network is so strong. Roizen possesses and practices the skills of persuasion, which allows her to connect to other people so well. I mentioned before that she practiced reciprocity, which is treating other people as she wanted to be treated. The most important quality, though, is likability. Robert Cialdini's article, Harnessing the Power of Persuasion, states that people like those who like them, which is true. Vincent Pluvonage, the CEO of Preview Systems, describes her as extremely and very pleasant to work with. She also hosted dinner parties in order to stay in touch with her friends, which shows her likability, and to connect others together, which also shows once again that she is a true giver. Whenever she met someone, she would also email them back the very next day. Combined with her friendly demeanor and her very obvious interest in people, she truly presents herself to be a likable person. In addition to reciprocity and likability, she also showed consistency, which is another part of being persuasive and thus building a stronger network. Cialdini states that people align with clear commitments and that commitments should be active, public, and voluntary. Roizen not only states that she values consistency over frequency, she also displays consistency at her first job at Tandem. When she was offered the opportunity to sit in at meetings with senior level executives, she demonstrated her performance and consistency by working hard and delivering on her promises. Is her network the only thing that was boosted because of all these qualities she possessed? I also believe that her power and influence proportionally increased with the strength of her network. Heidi Roizen effectively built a large network of people because of her giver tendencies and powers of persuasion. Because others were willing to help her because of all she had done for them by giving, she found herself with power and influence. People knew her as a trustworthy and reliable person, and so they listened to her and turned to her for advice. From Roizen, I hope that we can all take a look into our own networks and diagnose the issues and learn and work to grow ourselves in our networks. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me via email. But if that's it, have a great night, everyone.